I know, Brad, if I were a hellish demon dude heading to a fighting tournament, I would probably take a cab.
Uh-huh. You don't think this demonic billionaire industrialist has other means of locomotion? Oh God, listen to that.
When you're Jinpachi, you just kind of want to hang out.
Wait, who?
Jinpachi.
Oh.
This is Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
That's not Heihachi?
No.
Oh.
No, that's Heihachi's father.
What?
Yeah, Tekken got...
What?
I was going to say Tekken got weird, but let's face it, Tekken's been weird.
That's kind of what I like about it.
Yeah, for sure. And this being Tekken Tag Tournament 2, it kind of takes place outside of the standard fiction a little bit, so they've kind of got this just fighting tournament crowd motif going for the intro. And then they show Kunimitsu in the intro, even though she is pre-order DLC.
Gross.
That will be available for free later on.
Ah, okay.
But right now, not available.
I guess that's cool. Give them something to look forward to.
Sure.
I just like how that guy in the intro referred to this as a one-of-a-kind fighting event.
I mean, the ninth or Tekken game or whatever.
Like even in the context of offshoots of the Tekken series, this is not one of a kind.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but it's still a pretty good game.
Yeah.
There's Tekken's been they're Angel, another character that is not currently available unless you pre-ordered the game.
Is Devil in here?
I believe so.
Yeah. Who's that guy?
That's Ogre, True Ogre.
Oh, that really?
Ancient Ogre, another one of the characters that will be available. But whatever, there are close to 50 characters, or there are over 50 characters in this game. So it's not like you're going oh, these 4 characters you can only get through eventual DLC or.
It's like Street Fighter Alpha 3 levels of shit. That's a lot of characters.
It is. It's a weird concept, but I'm gonna say it's kind of too many characters in a sense. Because it's a lot of matchups to learn. It's a lot of, you need to know kind of what every character is capable of and what's going on.
Well, let's get the fighting out of the way so we can go watch some endings.
But yeah, all right. We'll go to Ghost Battle Mode. It's got arcade battle mode that leads to you unlocking those endings. It has Ghost Battle Mode, which Tekken has had for a while. You can play as one character or two. One character kind of regenerates health on his own without having to be tagged out to regenerate his potentially recovered life. So this is kind of the roster as it sits. You see there.
Is that Jun Kazama?
Yeah.
What?
It takes place outside of the Tekken fiction, so they can have everyone in it.
So she's just straight up alive?
She's just straight up in it. Because there's no story to this game.
Okay, I never realized that.
Yeah,
I always thought
tag games are
part of the series.
Or they're kind of set apart kind of things. You got martial law and forest law.
This is kind of more Tekken All-Stars.
Yeah. It's like a Tekken crossover, Tekken cross Tekken.
Who's Buckethead up there?
That's Combat. There's a separate mode where you kind of unlock fight points for Combat and then can assign moves to him. So you're kind of building your own custom version of this character from a preset list of moves. I've got a preset tag team set that I usually choose, and that's Paul and Hwarong.
Didn't know you were a Hwarong guy.
In some custom.
Get ready for the next battle.
Custom garb.
Custom kit.
Yeah, you can customize the characters. It's somewhat similar to the Soul Calibur stuff, but I mean Tekken's done it before as well. But yeah, you kind of take your own picture for the select screen and stuff like that. So you see Heihachi, you get a kind of a young Heihachi here as a result.
We're number 1.
Yep.
You said it, Paul. That's pretty good.
It's kind of weird because even in arcade mode, you get custom versions of the characters. So you have this big reveal at or it's not much of a reveal. I mean, she's in the roster, but Jun Kazama is ostensibly the final fighter. That's not actually the case, but when Jun is presented, it might just be Jun in this ridiculous outfit.
It's definitely a young Heihachi.
Yeah,
like in his plumbing days.
Right. So I got some tag moves in there. See if I can actually do any of them. But tag throw, it's probably not going to happen here. But.
Has the action always been framed this close? Like the dude's head's just like straight up clipping through their life bars and stuff. And they look huge. It's real close in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it kind of zooms out a little bit when you're far apart, but up close it's So there's one of them. You get kind of 2 guys in and combo like that. Oh. And because it's Tekken rules, when one character runs out of life, it's over. You never fight one-sided. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that.
I've never been a huge fan. It's just logically, it's just weird.
Although I guess it's part of the strategy, if you can catch somebody in a long enough combo.
Yeah, which, I mean, we'll play some online here, and, if it's anything... Well, now the game is out, maybe there'll be some people that are not quite as savage, but if it's anything like what I've been going through playing it up to this point, it'll be... It's the sort of game where you make one mistake and then watch the rest of the fight with you in the air.
Sure. Does this game match with the Japanese version?
Yeah.
Sweet. I can't wait to see what celebrities of the Tekken scene we invariably end up matching against. It's like every other fighting game, quickly.
Right.
If there are any. I don't know. I don't know how seriously people take competitive Tekken.
There are definitely people that take it very seriously. I mean... I don't know. Tekken's one of those games that established this really big casual following because of its place on the PlayStation as being this very special series.
Even if you weren't really into fighting games, it was awesome to get Tekken just to be like, dude, that's an arcade game on my TV.
And there's tons of characters and all these ridiculous endings and stuff like that. There's a whole lot. There was a whole lot to it to bring a lot of people in. And then I think post 3 or Tag, the original Tag was pretty popular I think too because it was a launch game, but. Past Tag was, that crowd I think went away pretty fast when Tekken 4 hit.
Sure. Yeah.
If not before.
Tekken 4 was totally when I checked out.
Yeah.
Tekken Tunes.
So you can customize characters. It's sort of, it's one of those things where they probably should have had a UI designer take an extra long look at this because there's sort of it ends up being kind of a process. So it's like. You kind of pick which, you can make multiple outfits per character and stuff like that. But you have to go into this mode and sit through all of these load screens to buy items.
Okay.
And then there's a whole separate section where you equip them. So I can't just buy and equip. And it's whatever. It's hardly worth pointing out because it's not why you come to Tekken. But it's one of those things that why wouldn't they just fix this? So each character kind of gets his own specific stuff. You can see I've already, if it ever loads up, I've already got Paul in his glasses, and he's holding a knife.
Yeah. Which
you can actually use in fights. There's a special move, but it's such a long wind-up on it, and it's not hugely damaging, that I suspect it actually doesn't unbalance the game to have him have a knife.
Well, just make sure the other guy has a bat, and everything will,
Yeah, well, you can
out.
actually have sledgehammers and crowbars and bomb balloons and weird stuff. But bomb balloons might actually pop people up in the air and be weird, but...
Does every character have a totally unique set of stuff to buy, or is there any universal clothing?
I don't think any of it's... I mean, multiple characters have berets and stuff like that, but I don't know that it's the case that every character has a beret.
Mainly, I was wondering if you could put that maid outfit on Paul.
No.
Okay.
No, they do kind of rein it in.
No sale.
But we could put a sick hat onto Devil Chin here.
A horned hat. Yeah, that's some loading.
This is 360 not installed.
Okay.
So it does speed up a little bit installed, but not so much that you'd notice. The stuff takes a long time to load. PS3 load times, PS3 has a forced install, and then has weird load times like when you're selecting characters with custom outfits.
Huh.
They're kind of a little frustrating. Let's see if this is the same Letterman jacket. Yeah, so that's... Huh. So a lot of characters have a superhero top and stuff like that, but I think they are different designs, just kind of different takes on the same motif.
Sure.
So you can kind of make your superhero team if you want a tag team that looks like that. You want your military look, you can put berets on guys and that sort of stuff.
There's no build of your own character though, right?
No, combat's kind of as close as you get to that. And with him, you're kind of unlocking moves and equipping them, and you have specific moves that you can equip to each kind of button or button press, button motion. And then, so yeah, you kind of unlock some stuff by default here. So you see that there's actually moves listed with model gun. So I can just straight up start popping caps or swing the mace or toss grenades and stuff, which is a little weird. But again, like I mean, if the knife and some of the other weapon stuff that I've tried are any indication, it's not. I mean, the windup on it is so ridiculous that it's kind of like an unblockable move, and that if you see it coming and still get hit by it, you probably deserve to lose to that dumb thing. Fight Lab mode is the combat section, and it actually takes you through training. So let's just.
But it's still just fighting. Still just one-on-one.
Yeah, okay. but it's stuff like, you know, these guys only take damage from punish attacks, so you need to do this, and you know, it's not a particularly long mode, but it does show you things like wall bounces or wall breaks, floor bounces, which are called bounds.
But all oriented toward getting better at the main game.
Yes, exactly. It shows you the tag moves. It shows you kind of what you have to do.
You know, remember when Tekken used to have like beat 'em up modes and bowling and volleyball?
That stuff might be hidden somewhere deep in here. I don't think it is, but. So there's a bit of a story to this mode as well. You know, it's kind of like Lee trying to build the ultimate robot. So I just need to kind of block him.
Combat really reminds me of that guy from Tobal #1. Remember that game?
Yeah.
There was that weird clockwork kind of robot-looking thing in there.
Right.
Really reminds me of that. We should get that game out.
Yep.
Did you like that?
Yeah, totally.
I was into that game.
Tobal 2 was awesome.
Yes. It never came out here.
Nope. I'll say there's like a fan translation patch for it.
Oh man, we should check that out. I really liked the weight of like the kicks and stuff in that series. I don't know what it was about it. It had a unique feel of like I think it was the way that your like stuff like your roundhouses and stuff would kind of like bounce off of their blocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they'd really whip their leg around on some of those kicks.
Yeah. It felt really good. Man, I kind of want to play some Tobal now.
This mode's also a little weird.
What? Jesus. It's inappropriate.
Yeah. There's also like weird Street Fighter references in this mode. Like you fight against like an overweight Ryu. Nice. You know, it's kind of there.
Fight.
Robots really making it rain.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're unlocking points, or you're earning points that you can spend on moves.
Oh, that's what that is?
For your combat.
Popping out of there?
Yeah. So let's show what the move assignment stuff looks like.
Combat tuning.
Fast forward the information. Do it. Faster.
So it's literally just like, you know, what button does the attack, and then, you know, different motions. So I've got this one equipped.
Mince
But,
liver,
you know,
of
I could go with Lion's Roar instead if I wanted to. So, you know, it's just as easy as that.
So what's up with those progress bars? That's just how much.
That's how many moves you've unlocked in each category.
Okay. Makes sense.
And as you kind of rank up and do better, you can earn better moves that way too.
How long before Valve sues for use of the Steam logo?
Right. And then I can just test play up in this window.
Oh, that's cool.
And because he's Lee's, he's got this triple kick that Lee has always had. Let's go online and lose some fights.
Great.
Tekken, man, you know, it's I was pretty good at the first 3 Tekken games, and then Tag kind of lost interest, and 4 I think was a real mess. Kind of got back into it with 5 and 6, and I think that this is better than those games. I think it's pretty cool overall. But man, the people that are good at Tekken.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way, and I said as much in the review, that losing at Tekken is probably it's way more frustrating than losing in most other fighting games because of the juggle system, because of that air combo stuff.
Sure, you just feel powerless.
Yeah,
at some
you feel
point,
helpless
right?
as stuff's happening. Like you kind of feel like I'm not really learning anything. Like I made a mistake and now I'm in the air for 4 or 5 seconds, while this guy just unloads and tags to another character and unloads some more. And it's a bummer. So you pick your duo, you pick your characters before going in, then brings you into this training mode while it does the searching, which is kind of nice because I can just kind of screw around.
I wonder if that helps with the load times a little bit too, since they've already got the characters in memory.
Yeah, probably.
It's kind of neat. I mean, I've been out of Tekken forever, but like, do they at least try to limit the amount of damage somebody can do while you're in a juggle? Or
yeah, I mean, it does kind of lower. They do scale the damage a little bit, I think, on some of that stuff.
But also, there's no like infinite juggles or anything crazy like that.
I can't say for sure, but I mean,
philosophically, they're trying to avoid that,
yeah,
right?
I think they're trying to avoid 100% combos,
or even close to that.
Yeah, but I mean, they're significant. If you get a character, because if a character's tagged out for a while and the character who's in is taking hits, the character who's out comes in charged up. So while he's charged up, if you then get a really long juggle going, like it could go real bad.
We're number one.
You can really get a lot of damage in. So it's.
Are you ready for 4th Q?
I hope so. Kind of got that one down.
I like the motion blur on the characters. That looks really slick for some reason.
See, like, look, I mean, the damage, I mean, yeah, Hwoarang got eaten up there. Because I kept attacking and the other guy kept countering, like the counter hits really do a lot more damage than normal hits.
Yeah.
And it's the life bar does not last very long. And these aren't even like elaborate, ridiculous juggles. There's definitely crazier stuff this guy could be doing.
Oh, getting down to it. There you go. Oh, geez, yeah, wow.
So on those assault moves, it's basically like any bound move, which is when you bound off of the ground and pound and come back up. Is when you can tag in the other character and have them both on screen at the same time.
Okay.
Oh,
this is rough.
There's also tag throws like that.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, so it's sort of a game where if you come at it with your kind of intermediate Tekken 2 skills or Tekken 3 skills where you were kind of okay, you just get fucking eaten up, man.
So I should not play Tekken Tag 2 then? That's what you're saying.
I think if you can find like-minded players that are of a similar skill level, then you'll have a good time. You'll have a great time. I mean, it is still Tekken. It is still that game that you can pick it up and play it and enjoy it at that lower level.
Sure.
But when you have these skill discrepancies, it's not fun at all.
Yeah,
it's not fun at all. And I think more so than a lot of other fighting games. Like when I lose at Street Fighter 4 or stuff like that, like I still feel like I'm learning stuff. I still kind of feel
sure.
like okay, that's I had a shot.
Yeah.
Whereas in a lot of these Tekken fights, it's just like, man, you're just fucked.
See if you pull Cedar Creek Boy 97 again. What do you want to bet that guy was born in 1997?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
That's just depressing.
See if I can.
New challenge.
I'm gonna try and use the knife real quick, but I forget what the button presses were for it. I put Hwoarang in goggles on top of, in addition to his default goggles. That seemed like the right way to go with that.
Can't have too many goggles.
Yeah. The connectivity on the network stuff seems really good. This will be a 4-bar connection by default on ranked matches. It only takes connections that are 4 or 5. and 5's the highest. In the unranked mode, you can get, I think it's 6 players together in a room and go at it that way too. So the standard complement of fighting game features, as well as the standard complement of Tekken features.
We're number
Kind of that, it's got that training mode, it's got that ghost battle stuff, team battle, time attack.
Fight.
Low parry.
Oh man, it's totally got that weird, like kind of swimmy background scrolling
yeah. Some of the backgrounds, the ones that don't have walls, still do that.
I thought they had solved that years ago.
No.
It's making
At this point, I don't want them to.
I guess it's making me feel a little dizzy looking at it. Look at that. It's like a river of rock flowing out there. That is super weird. Yeah, maybe it was intentional at this point. Maybe they just knew.
Well, they have a lot of backgrounds that have walls and breakable spaces and stuff, so those ones don't have that specific issue.
Yeah.
Ah,
pull it out.
Get out of here.
Oh, he did not change characters. You should change. Oh.
Yeah.
Round 2. Fight.
Mishima's doing you rotten.
That's what they're there for.
What's up with Jinpachi? What's his story?
I don't know. He's Heihachi's father.
Kind of weird, like an ageless demon samurai or something.
I do no
well,
idea.
that's probably an unlockable costume.
Well, it's probably a custom costume.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So you see Paul's life bar is blinking, signifying that if I were to tag him in, he would get that bonus.
Okay.
I had him down. I could have got one hit in, I would have finished it, but it was not meant to be.
Fight.
This is actually the first lag I've actually seen playing this game. Most of the other connections I've gotten into have been smooth the whole way through. A little. So, I mean, it is totally capable online. That one didn't happen to run all that smoothly. Let's do one more.
All right. One more. I like that map.
This map?
It's a snazzy looking map.
Yeah. So they got this whole like World Tekken Federation thing they came up with, which is like their Call of Duty Elite. It's been broken, so I don't know. Also, nowhere in the game does it say the URL for the website, if I'm not mistaken. It's just like, hey, you can go sign up for the World Tekken Federation. And I'm like, what? No, it doesn't say in the manual. Like they built this whole thing and don't tell you how to fucking get to it.
That's amazing.
And then if you go online and search for it, you find a bunch of news stories written about the service and not the service.
Man.
So here's a pro tip for folks at home that I tried out just on a on a hunch. If you go to worldtekkenfederation.com,
okay,
you'll end up in the right spot. But I tried to sign up on launch day and it was broken. So by the time you hear this, it'll probably be working. And it sounds like you can kind of register teams and have clan tags and do similar kind of stuff to like a Call of Duty Elite, like look at your match history and figure all that stuff out. But
We're number 1.
we are number 1. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, Paul.
Koi. Round 1. Fight. Yeah.
Any super weird backgrounds? The stuff I've seen so far seems fairly.
It's there's a lot of good looking backgrounds.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing
it
that's
doesn't look bad, but no like super wild. Like Street Fighter Tekken had dinosaurs,
right,
and lots of weird shit like that.
Damn it!
Because yikes. Like you said, Tekken's had kind of a weird sense of humor and personality.
Yeah, but
for a long time.
I think they save a lot of that for the endings and stuff like that.
We gotta go watch some endings.
I don't know what I have on 360. I played most of my arcade mode on the PS3, but
I'll take anything I can
I
get.
should have at least one here.
We had you had what, Jim Pachi's, right?
No.
Is that what we watched before?
No, that was some other. No, that was not his ending.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that was. Oh.
Just stick that knife in him and end this fight.
Hey, I won a round.
There you go.
Fight.
You just like the knife for looks at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you have the option of have a knife or don't have a knife,
Yeah.
have the knife.
Yeah. I can't argue with that logic. Man. Man.
Round 4.
Yeah, when it goes bad kind of fast.
Fight.
Any idea what's next for Tekken? Do they have anything else out on the slate?
No, well, I mean, Tekken Cross Street Fighter is the only like announced other thing.
Right.
So presumably they would.
Who the fuck knows what that even is?
Right. Yeah.
But in terms of like the main series, you know, Tekken 6.
Well, so I mean, they've stuck to this thing of doing 3 normal games and then a tag game.
Okay.
So.
Oh, did tag come after 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that in mind, I think that Tekken 4 was sort of a departure. I think it was a mess, but you know, it was where they tried to make some real changes to it. So I think if they do get around to a Tekken 7, I think that they're kind of in position to make some real changes. I think that's what they have to do. I think they need to get the roster down to a more manageable size of you know, like, who are the characters that really matter. I think that I would like to see them toss all of their animation and start over, because there's a lot of animation that's been in this game for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I think that they would be better off like losing a lot of that stuff. I'm not saying like change the frame data, you know, like if it ends up working out that it's got X number of recovery frames or whatever, just like the last old games, that's fine. But you know, it's hard to differentiate one game from the next in a lot of ways.
Yep.
You know, it's they all kind of run together. So what do I have on 360?
Ending movies, other movies, I'll take whatever I can get.
All right, I think I have Paul's. That might be the only one
I ain't
that I have
particular.
here.
There's nothing more refreshing than
Oh God, they talk?
Yeah, they do. They
It
do.
is quite soothing.
They do talk.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Should Tekken characters talk?
I don't
Dad, look! It's Kuma!
think so.
No, son. That's not Kuma. You see, that's just a wild grizzly bear. Huh? Forrest? Kuma?
Jesus, what?
Don't bring him this way.
Wacky hijinks ensue,
Yeah,
like a Tekken ending should.
sure.
Playing through the arcade mode, not the most satisfying thing in the world.
Yeah,
so.
it's kind of a shame. I mean, I'm glad they're still doing this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can't have a Tekken game without this kind of stuff. But, Paul's fighting that bear. But yeah, it's kind of a shame you do have to play through it over and over and over to get them all.
That's how it's always been.
I know.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's not the
who's really gonna
best answer in the world, but yeah.
You know, unless you're just the biggest Tekken fan on the planet, you're just gonna watch all this stuff on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, I guess
and be done with it.
the internet has definitely changed the game when it comes to Tekken endings.
Oh man, those Tekken 3 endings though.
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff is so
Yeah,
great.
it's really good stuff. That's Tekken Tag. You know, it's
All right.
like, you know, I'm not great at it. I'm willing to admit that. You know, my Tekken days may be past me, but they have made an enjoyable game with a lot of solid features that I think is better than what they've been doing for the past few years.
Yeah,
now.
Tekken kind of languished for a while, so that's
Yeah.
That
So
in
I think
itself
that this is a
impressive.
good. Like I said, I think this is like a good stopping point for Tekken in its current form, and I'd really like to see them start over in a lot of ways, you know, and come up with some different stuff that I think stands out to a wider audience. I mean, that's not to say that Tekken's been identical for the last 3 games. I mean, you know, even just the tag moves in this are well done and pretty cool, but something more dramatic.
Sure.
I would love to see them do that for Tekken 7. And you know, if Tekken Cross Street Fighter happens, I assume, you know, there's no reason to believe it won't, other than no one's heard about it. But no one's heard about it because they've been promoting this game instead. So with this game out of the way, it paves the way for them to start talking about that and kind of show what Namco's capable of. I mean, this proves they're capable of making like a good, flashy, vibrant fighting game. The
Looks
type of
good,
game that
moves
Soul
well.
Calibur is definitely not.
Yeah.
And I hope that they go to great heights from here, I guess.
Well, good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck
Let's
to them.
say. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Brad.